What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you another questions and answers video, or should I just say Q&A? Which one's better? Comment below. And if you are wondering how to get in on these, by the way, my Facebook page down in the description box below, Remington James, I make a post usually once a week asking for questions, then I get on here and answer them. So I always love doing these because I think it gives you guys the chance to ask me some questions, maybe about my personal life, or maybe just about fitness in general, something that's been lingering that maybe I haven't covered in a video in a while, and I can elaborate on them, and it's fun. Plus, these are easy enough for me to make. It gives me a little bit of a break from the vlogging and the content grinding, because I can kind of just sit here, answer some questions, and put a pretty easy video out for me. So for me, this is like vacation. So I love doing these, guys. Anyways, follow my Facebook page if you want to get in on this. We had over 50 questions this time around. The participation is awesome, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are ready to hear me answer some questions, then I'm ready to answer them. Let's do it. All right, I love this question, guys. We're starting off with one from Laura Lee. It says, why do women have a harder time dropping weight than men? Okay, the biggest reason that women have a harder time dropping weight than men is strictly hormones, right? Women are estrogen dominant, men are testosterone dominant. Testosterone in and of itself is an anabolic hormone. Now, every woman has small amounts of testosterone in her system, the same way that every guy has small amounts of estrogen in their system. But testosterone in general, let's say you take a 20-year-old male and a 20-year-old female, and neither of them have ever lifted weights, neither of them have ever really have athletic backgrounds. If you just compare them, right, the guy alone is gonna have a substantially greater amount of lean muscle tissue than the woman, even though they've both not really done anything active to build that muscle, simply because testosterone exists. Testosterone and estrogen are the only reasons why there are males and females, really. Your body creates a signal when you're very young, when you're born, that tells it whether or not to start making male sex organs, female sex organs, blah, blah, blah. This is not a anatomy class, but in turn, the more muscle you have as a male, right, the more calories you need in a day to function, or your total daily energy expenditure ends up being higher. So a guy, for your average guy, could probably eat about 2,000 calories a day and maintain his weight, whereas a female, that might only be 1,400. So you gotta think about that. There's a 600 calorie swing in there somewhere. So, if you guys are eating the same diet, you guys just have a lot less to work with than what us men do. So that is the main reason. And testosterone in and of itself, it's a very anabolic and thermogenic hormone, and we kind of lucked out with it. Because back before we had all this civilization and everything around us, the men were the hunters and gatherers, and a lot of the women, took care of the children, raised the families and stuff like that. It's just the way things worked. And now that we're not really in a society that's dictated like that, we have all this testosterone and nothing to go hunt. I guess I could go hunting, but anyways, I'm going off the rails a little bit. But yeah, it's harder because you guys have estrogen and we have testosterone. So estrogen in general causes women to hold more water weight, causes women to just not get as good a results as men get from lifting weights as far as muscle gain is considered. So to close this up, the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories it takes to even just exist. So in turn, when you're a male and you've kind of put on muscle, like I found throughout the years as I've added more muscle, the more I can eat and the more I can have cheats on my diet without it really affecting me, because my overall total daily energy expenditure keeps going up. So women can do the same thing, but not nearly as profound as a guy can, simply because of hormones. So loved answering that question, by the way. Heck yeah, we're starting this Q&A off very well. Okay, next question from John Sebastian Renaud. I think I got that name right. Sorry if I butcher anybody's names, by the way. We have, hello, Mr. James. Is macro count as or more important than a calorie deficit for weight loss? Which will get the best results, hitting the macros or being minus 500 or more calories? Okay, so just to touch on this one really fast. Essentially, guys, some people get confused, right? Your macros add up to calories no matter what. So each gram of fat is 9 calories, each gram of protein is 4 calories, each gram of carbs is 4 calories. So no matter what, if you are calorie dieting and you say, I'm gonna have 1,800 calories a day, those are gonna add up to macros somewhere. Macros will fill that up, even if you're just winging it and eating Cheetos and whatever. The biggest thing though, on why I recommend macros every single time over a strict calorie deficit is, yeah, obviously your body needs X amount of energy. We're all different, by the way, but so let's say, for instance, for me, my body needs 20, probably 400 calories a day to stay the exact same weight I am right now. If I eat 1900 calories of junk, I'm in a 500 calorie deficit. So you multiply that out by 7 days of the week, that's 3,500, which is the amount of calories that are in a pound. So if I take that and eat 1900 a day, and that's gonna cause me to lose a pound a week, as long as my activity levels and stuff doesn't change. And let's say I take those 1900 calories and I fill them in with just whatever I want, garbage, right? We'll do Cheetos, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, pizza, whatever, compared to a clean diet consisting of micronutrient dense foods, fiber-rich foods, high in protein, whatever, and I follow macros. The difference is that, yeah, I can still lose weight, but the type of weight you lose is completely different, right? So if I'm eating 1900 just dirty calories, my body is gonna look at what is available to it. It's gonna see there's an absence of protein there. So in turn, my body doesn't have enough protein, and let's say I'm still lifting weights and stuff, my body needs protein, right? To help me rebuild my muscles after an intense workout. And if none of that is there, then what it's gonna do to get that protein and those amino acids, it's gonna go for the muscle on my body for weight loss. So that's where you see the people that become skinny fat, quote unquote, that term, is because their body burned off the muscle because all they were eating was junk, and it already sensed that, hey, we have all this fat already, all this junk, we need branched chain amino acids. So it goes after the muscle on your body instead. So yeah, you can lose weight with both, but if your goal is to have like a nice body, right, you want to lose your body fat and prioritize that body fat over everything else, then you want to have macros, and you want right macros, not just, because like I said, those calories will be macros, it'll add up to macros, but you want to have a nice set of macros to follow. That way your fat loss is prioritized over losing muscle. And especially too, if you're not getting the micronutrients you need, if you're not getting the fiber and the vitamins that come from these healthy foods, then your overall well-being is going to be diminished. Your overall sense of like nourishment and feeling good is going to be diminished. And I think that's why a lot of people that just go on strictly calorie deficit diets don't really stay on them very long, is because eventually like your body you're just running on crap, right? And I always talk about this, but if you want your body, you got to look at it in terms of like a car, right? If you want your body to be a Ferrari and not like a Dodge Neon, then you don't put regular gasoline in a Ferrari, you put premium gasoline in that thing. So you just got to look at it in terms of that way. So yeah, for sure, macros way more important than a calorie deficit. All right, we got from Kevin McCarty. Shout out to Kevin, by the way. He's down at the Kroger I go to. Appreciate the question, man. We got fasted cardio, or does it really matter as long as you do it? Okay, so I used to be a huge proponent of fasted cardio. For those of you that don't know what fasted cardio is, that is doing your cardio in the morning with no food in your stomach. You're still fasted, right? So in my personal experience, fasted cardio, yes, does burn a little more fat than regular cardio, but it is not this crazy, like you do fasted cardio and you're automatically gonna lose all this fat, whereas if you did regular cardio, you're not gonna lose any. That's not the case. I would say perhaps what I've noticed with it, because I used to do it all the time, but now I'm so busy in the mornings, my schedule does not permit for me to do it anymore. And I can't really say that I notice a huge difference. I think that some of the studies I've looked at, it's mainly like, you might burn maybe 50 to 100 more calories in your session versus, just a regular amount of doing it fed. And some of the benefits they say is that while you're doing fasted cardio, there's no food in your stomach, so your body doesn't go for that energy. It goes for the energy that's on you, the stored energy, so fat. They say sometimes it's a little better towards the end of a cut to get rid of like lower belly fat or trouble areas, but I think for most people, unless you are competition dieting, just doing your cardio is so much more important than like making sure it was prioritized as fasted. If you can do it fasted and you want the best results you can get in the fastest time, then yeah, fasted is probably the way to go. But in my opinion, really, the difference isn't that profound. Just get your cardio in, guys. I've been doing my cardio whenever I have the time to do it, and it's almost always fed now, and I'm still making results. And you guys see it, I do these eating challenges and I do all this stuff, and I'm still making progress. So anyways, good question, Kevin. Thank you, man. From Kate Bates, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? That is a very tough question. Because some people think about it like, yeah, I would just eat cake because I love cake. But like, I'm trying to think about it in terms of if I'm trying to keep living and eat just one food for the rest of my life that would help me with my goals and keep me on this path. Man, that is a tough one. One food. Okay. I know what it would be. Sushi. It would totally be sushi. And here's why, right? Sushi is as long as you're doing it right, sushi is relatively clean. So you have, your raw fish, which is gonna be like your proteins, right? So you can do sushi with rice, without rice. So if I needed to hit my protein macros, I could, double up on the meat and kind of forgo the rice, do some sashimi. I think sashimi's that. Is it sashimi? Sashimi? Whatever the one is that's just the meat and not the rice. I could do that to get my protein up. And then a lot of them have like avocado and healthy fats included. So if I wanted to hit my fat goals, I could get some of those rolls. And then if I wanted the carbs, I could do the carb rolls. So I think sushi Yeah, it would totally be sushi. Totally sushi. Because I could still have the healthy lean protein sources. I could have the fattier meats. I could have the rice for the carbs. Heck, I'd be cake. And sushi's amazing. So there we go. Sushi. Awesome. Thank you for that question, by the way. All right, and from Jordan Baker, I like this question. He says, what number of subscribers do you feel you need in order to feel like a fitness YouTube success story? Honestly, I used to, when I first started out, it was way different than where I am now, right? So as of posting this, I'm at like 35,000 something subscribers. I still don't feel much different than when I had like 1,000, right? I don't know, I always told myself like I really wanted 50,000, and 50,000 would be like that milestone where I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. But now I feel like 50,000 is so minuscule in the grand scheme of things. And I used to say like 100,000. Boy, I know I've made it when I hit 100,000, but even now, I'm like, that just doesn't even feel like anything anymore. I would really think, if I had to put a number on it, that 500,000 is when I would say, okay, like I'm doing something, right? But my benchmark, what I want to hit, that milestone I really want, I want 1 million. And I know that's not going to be easy. I know it's going to take a lot of hard work. I know that's going to be, this is going to dominate my life for me to get there. But I'm not the type of person to back down from a challenge. I'm not the type of person that wants to, that is just fine with second place. You know, if I'm going to do something and I'm going to put my heart and my soul into it, I'm going to give it 110% of me, and I think 1 million is what that's gonna take. So, I see some of these other guys out here grinding, and I've watched them go from 100,000 to 1 million, and I just think, as long as you have the best intentions in mind, and you're not screwing people over, and you make just, good content, and you put your heart and your soul into it, I don't think there's any way that I can't reach that goal. So 1 million, I think, is definitely where I want to be, but 500,000, I think I'll be able to go, okay, this is good. We're doing something. Thanks for the question, man. I love questions like that. All right, and then we got from Hanre Botha. What was the hardest thing to overcome when you started bodybuilding? Hardest thing to overcome. Okay, so something people might not know about me, but when I started doing the bodybuilding stuff, if you go back and you watch some of my older videos, you realize I've suffered from, a little bit of depression, self-image issues, anxiety, some addiction problems. I've kind of been through some stuff like that. But when I started bodybuilding, I think the hardest thing for me was the vegetables. Some of you are like, wait, the vegetables? But now this is what I'm about to tell you is 110% honest. Up until I was in college, as far as I can remember, right, besides maybe like potatoes, maybe like spaghetti sauce, I had not eaten an entire fruit or vegetable like of my own free will from when I can remember up until college. So that was no bananas, still not bananas, no apples, no green beans, no nothing until I was in college. And I maybe the occasional thing in like salsa, like I said, but I never ever ate that stuff, and I was so against it. I was the pickiest eater in the world, and I was at a point where even Taco Bell, right? If we went and got Taco Bell, you can ask my mom about this, my brothers, my sisters. We'd go to Taco Bell, right? And I'd get my tacos, just meat and cheese. I'd get that taco if there was one piece of lettuce in it. I didn't want it. And that's how picky I was. I couldn't stand the taste of anything that wasn't just like fried chicken or meat or whatever. And the hardest thing with bodybuilding was realizing that you had to get those vegetables in. If you wanted your body to run efficiently and effectively, you needed that fiber, you need those micronutrients, you had to incorporate vegetables. I remember choking down broccoli in the beginning, then hated it, and it was just awful. When I forced myself to do it, felt like I was gonna gag. I remember literally eating meals over my trash can, like, but it's one of those things though, once you realize that the food you're eating, like you're giving yourself life. Like, we need food to survive. Food is our gasoline. It is our energy source, and the better stuff you put in there, the better you feel all around. People ask me all the time, like, how are you always in such a good mood? You're always smiling. Well, for one, I put my best foot forward for you guys when I can. But two, when you eat better, you feel better, you look better, you show up better, everything's better. You function better mentally, everything. So hardest part was getting those veggies in at first, but I stuck with it. Now I thoroughly enjoy my vegetables. So yeah, man, good question. Thank you so much. All right, guys, had to change the battery in the camera, but we are back in business. Now, I'm only going to answer a few more questions, but we're going to keep this going. So, from Ryan Tobin, I'm answering a question because he asked like 18 of them. Would you be willing to do a Guess That Flavor BCAA video with Troy? I think that would be dope. I'm willing to. Troy's just gotta, if Troy watches this, which he should, he just needs to comment below and say that he's down for it. And then we'll do a Guess That Flavor video and put it on the channel. Why not? Why not? Thanks for the question, man. All right, and I'll do one more from you, man. You asked so many. What is your all-time favorite Halo Top flavor? I am going to have to say probably Red Velvet. Red Velvet Halo Top is by far, in my opinion, the best one you're gonna be able to get, but they're all pretty good. There's only been a couple that I've been like iffy about, but none of them have been flat out bad. My favorite thing to do lately is I get one Red Velvet and I get one peanut butter cup, and I'll eat them back to back, because the thing with those two is that they both have like chunks in them, right? So the Red Velvet has chunks of Red Velvet in it you can eat, and the peanut butter cup has chunks of peanut butter cup in it that you can eat, and that's been my thing lately, guys. It's probably the one thing that really like keeps me from like going too crazy on my diet. Obviously the eating challenges and stuff, but like those two things, man, let me tell you, we were actually comparing it the other night. Actually, I watched the UFC fights, and if you watch tomorrow's vlog, I don't even know what I'll talk about. It's in tomorrow's vlog. It's a spoiler alert, but you're gonna see some ice cream in it, right? We compared it, and one tub of Ben & Jerry's is equivalent to about 4 pints of Halo Top. So I had 2 pints of ice cream there, and someone made the comment like, "You're eating ice cream like that?" You know, and I'm like, well, they're having it too, but this is, you know, half of that. So yeah, guys, Halo Top's great stuff. But yeah, Red Velvet and peanut butter cup. Both good to go. Thanks, Ryan, for your question, man. All right, from Rob Whedon, we have, how much vlogging you hoping to do on vacation with the boys? Hopefully more than your last Vegas trip. Okay, so here's the thing about that. For those of you that might be new to the channel, me and Team Dry Scoop, or me and my boys, you got me, Ankrum, Nate, and Troy. We all, we're going on vacation in March, and we're going to the beach. So here's the thing, right? I work a lot. I don't ever stop working. I feel like I don't want to say a slave to this job, because I love what I do. So, but I am literally like, the ability for me to just go and like do, like you'd think like working for myself, right? And doing what I do, that I have all this freedom. But man, every morning I wake up, there's, you know, more client plans to do. I have more clients signing up every single day. I have updates with existing clients. I have to produce a video. I have to edit a video. I have to put a video out. Today I had to ship 13 different apparel boxes. You know, so that's package them, ship them, make sure everything's good that way. And then, you know, still maintaining all my social media accounts, still going in and interacting with you guys on YouTube, still going in and posting stuff on, you know, Facebook and all that. This is completely and utterly dominated every aspect of my life, right? And I'm telling myself that while I'm on vacation, as much as I want to bring you guys a ton of content, that like, I need a break too. You know, I need a vacation too. I need to be able to sit back for a day at least and just go, ah, man, life is good and I don't have to do anything today. Like I think that's what I need. But I'm probably going to end up in a position where I tell myself that right now, and then I get down there and I'm gonna go stir crazy not working. So obviously I'm gonna capture some of it for you guys, but I want it to be something where like maybe instead of vlogging the entire time, we can go and be like, okay, today we're gonna rent jet skis, go out on the water, or we're gonna go rent go-karts, or we're gonna go to just do something crazy, and I can just kind of film that experience. That way I have that experience filmed, I can turn it into a video, and then kind of, you know, relax the rest of the day. So still not 100% sure how or why or what, how that's all gonna work, but you know, I need a break. So that's, you know, I think today we're at like 74 days, 74 videos or something like that. I haven't missed a video. So yeah, guys, you know, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Definitely more than the Vegas though. I know Vegas I only got like, but that was a shorter vacation, but I only got like 1 video out of that. Definitely more than Vegas. So thanks for the question, by the way, and the support too, man. Okay, ooh, from Travis Cole, have to answer this one. Favorite actor and actress? Man, favorite actor, that's gotta be, let me say, man, that's a tough one. Favorite actor. You know, probably Leonardo DiCaprio. That might be the cop-out answer, but that guy's been in so many roles and in so many movies I've absolutely loved, and I feel like when he's in a position to take on a character, he just does it so well. Like, he's always believable. It's never like, I think you get some actors and you watch them and they're kind of the same guy in every movie. I don't feel like Leonardo DiCaprio is like that at all. So definitely Leonardo DiCaprio. And then actress, I can't really say I have a favorite actress. I've never really thought about it. That is a tough one. Maybe, I'm drawing a blank on actress, and I don't want to just throw a name out there because that's not doing anybody justice. So, okay, I answered the actor question. Actress we'll get back to. I don't think, as of right now, I do not have a favorite actress. So, thanks for the question, by the way, Travis. Ooh, okay, from Ahmed Arif. This kind of goes into the question a couple questions ago. Do you ever feel like not making a vlog that day and just chilling? All the time. Of course, there's days like today, for instance, I'm not feeling the best. I'll talk about it a little bit in the vlog posting tomorrow, but I'm not feeling the best. I think it's because of the Big Mac challenge, all those Big Macs not being real food, kind of, I don't know, I just don't feel the best. And there's days you wake up and I see this mountain of work in front of me and I go, I still need to do a video, I still gotta put my smile on, I gotta check in with my clients, I have all this stuff I gotta do, and it's so easy to just sit back and go, nah, and give up on it. But I think that's what separates the people that are successful, the people that get results, from the people that don't, right? You have to be willing to do work that you don't necessarily want to do. That every day I can make up 8 excuses to why I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that. There's been a million times I've sat down just like mad, like knowing I have to edit a video, knowing it's gonna take 3 hours of sitting in a chair editing when I know my friends are out at a restaurant or they're all lifting together doing something and I have to miss that because of my work, but this is my passion. You know, and I made a promise to myself when I started this that no matter what I was gonna get where I wanted to be, and that requires that even on those days I don't quite feel up to it, that I have to work. So, you know, the same thing goes with fitness and lifting weights. There's times when I don't want to go do that stuff. There's times when I don't want to meal prep. But I want this too badly to let just little pieces of resistance throw me off my path. And if I can give anybody any advice at all, it's that little voice in your head doesn't always have the best interests for you at heart. And you have to understand that a lot of times when your body's telling you don't want to do this, it's simply just resistance. And if you can figure out how to master that discipline and get in there and just do it, right? Everything gets better. And I get a lot of people that ask me all the time, like, what's the best way to get started? And I say, there is no best way to get started. Just start, because you'll figure it out as you go. And that's, you know, I got another question on here from somebody asking how I started my business. Hold on, I want to give him the shout out right here. Josh Eakins asked me that question. And it's like, you know, it wasn't some spectacular multi-tiered structured plan I had. I literally just started piecing it together. I got a logo. I got an LLC off LegalZoom.com. I made a website. I started selling stuff locally. Then that turned into, you know, selling stuff to people on Instagram. Then that turned into, oh, I made a YouTube account. Now, you know, now I have training plans and clients I get from there. So it's literally like, you know, no one's perfect when you start. Nothing is ever 100% on point when you start. You know, you learn. Like my first year of bodybuilding, I probably wasted so much of my own time because my diet was terrible. I didn't work out right, but it's like anything. Practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Don't get discouraged in the beginning. It's easy to do, but pushing through that resistance, not caring what anybody else has to say about what you're doing, if you can find that mental clarity here and that belief in yourself, that's really all you need. And the rest of everything you do will fall into place as long as you believe in yourself and you take the necessary actions to get it done. So thanks both of you guys for the questions. I appreciate it. I think it's gonna be like one of my longest Q&As. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more questions, maybe just one. From Alexandre Ramos. How did you guys on Team Dry Scoop meet each other? Long story about that. I'm not from here, right? All those guys are kind of from where we're at. I'm not. I moved here. And when I moved here, I know Troy is from here in town. I want to say Nate's not from right here in town, but he's really close by. And the same goes with Ankrum, right? But it's one of those things when you live in a smaller town like we do, this is not some big city. This is a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody, you know, knows everybody's business. And when I first started, obviously started lifting weights and stuff like that, I had heard of these guys just from the gyms. You know how it is when you go to a gym in a small town. It's kind of like you have these like quote unquote people that go to different gyms and the big guys, the buff guys, you know. And heck, when I started and even to this day, I'm still pretty much like the smallest guy in the group, I would say. So I really looked up to those guys back then, you know, and then that was kind of back, we were all kind of hitting the bars and stuff like that, still going out a lot, and we'd run into each other out. None of us were really close, we were all like acquaintances. As far as Nate goes, me and Nate were probably the closest out of everybody at first, just from talking and stuff. You know, as time went on, Ankrum got to where he was getting ready to open Subzilla. He sold his old business, he used to own a lawn care business, and sold it and then opened Subzilla. Right when he was doing that was right when I started my business. And I kind of reached out to him and I was like, look, man, I think we can help each other out. You know, I'll help promote for you, you help promote for me, you know, put my business cards in there. That's how I got a lot of my original clients. And man, this was only about like a little over a year ago when this kind of happened. And that's really where our friendship started, you know, became more from just like, hi, I know who you are, you know who I am, and we shook hands when we met. It turned into more like, you know, okay, like we have a more personal relationship now. And then, you know, me and Troy were always cool. Me and Troy would go out to the bars and stuff, but mainly our relationship was a lot of drinking and a lot of partying, not really lifting together or anything like that. It was mainly just, you know, we'd party together, and you know how you have friends like that. And then, as me and Ankrum kind of started doing what we were doing, Troy started kind of getting his mindset shifted around. Like, okay, I kind of want to start doing some stuff too. And then I remember very, very clearly, me and Troy had we'd go out to dinner and we'd talk about stuff. And when stuff kind of started picking up for me and I was able to quit my job and go full time doing this, he's like, man, I want to do something like that. And we had a really long talk one night out at dinner about, and I kind of gave him like my motivational spiel, like, basically like, you can do whatever you want, you just got to do it, man. And then that changed his mindset. And then from that moment on, we became really close. Same thing kind of goes with Nate too. Me and Nate were always close. And then but once the group kind of started coming together really in the last year, we just all became that much closer, And I spent a lot of time with Nate. Nate would come over a lot and we'd talk about just everything. Nate would just kind of come kick it. We'd play video games and hang out. And when he was going through stuff, I'd talk to him or vice versa, especially lady problems. It's one of those things you'd think, looking at us all now, that we've been friends forever, but we really haven't. This friendship, the last year's really been where it grew, and in the last 6 months is when it really became like something tangible. And then now, and even it just seems like day by day, we all just get that much closer, especially the more we do these videos and the more things kind of keep working for all of us. And that's one thing, if I can say anything about my life right now, it's that I don't have many friends, right? I don't have room for many friends, but the friends I do have, I value more than anything. And I think that a lot of times in being successful, you need to surround yourself with people that are goal-driven just like you, that have the same ambitions just like you, and that people that, that they're not satisfied with being right here, right? They want to be here, and they want to be here. You should always be seeking progression in everything that you do in life. The minute that you sit there and you let your life become stagnant, and you don't keep growing, you might as well just be dying every single day, So yeah, that's basically that story in a nutshell. Thank you so much for your question. Man, this has been a great Q&A session today. Okay, final question, guys, and I'm going to apologize for anybody whose question I didn't answer. Save your question when I do my thing again. Actually, it'll be this week now when I post again this week, probably Friday, Saturday. Repost your question, guys. Repost them. Okay, hold on. We're going to do two more. Okay, we got from Brian Smart. How did your muscle growth affect the appearance of your tattoos? Honestly, so I got, right when I first started lifting, I got this whole part of my arm done. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen this before if I've been working out. Got this all done, and then I got my whole chest done right when I started working out. Those I've noticed zero change in. They're totally fine. I'm way bigger now than I was then. The only tattoo I've noticed a big difference in, you never see this one, but when I was a senior in high school, I got the traditional bro tattoo, which is my last name, on my back. Right? And as I've gotten bigger, the tattoo hasn't. The tattoo stayed like the same size. So now what used to kind of cover my back doesn't anymore. I've been looking at getting it covered up, but then it's like, well, now that I do bodybuilding, do I really want to cover up more of my back? That age-old question. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's done anything to morph my tattoos, other than as I've gotten bigger, my tattoos seem to have kind of stayed the same size, if that makes sense. So yeah, nothing crazy. And I was worried about that when I started, but unless I turn into like a professional bodybuilder and become massive, I don't foresee any issues with it. Okay, had to answer that one. And then we have final question from Damon Callis. We have, if money was no object, what car would you buy and why? Okay, so the car question, I love this. So I actually have a few different options here, right? So I always told myself that I really wanted a Lamborghini, When I lived in California for a little bit, and it was not uncommon to see guys roll up in Lamborghinis. And I remember you'd have someone like just drive by you in a Lamborghini, and I remember just the mystery around that guy. You're like, what does that guy do to where he's able to buy a Lamborghini, And Lamborghini was, I think, is always gonna be that benchmark for me. Even if it's not the ideal car I want, that's the car that I feel like if I ever own one, I'll know that I made it, right? And I did something good to be able to have that Lamborghini. Because as a kid, that's what everybody always says, the Lambo. Dude's got a Lambo. Bro, did you see that Lambo? That's like the car, right? So Lambo, I think, mark my words, one of these days I will own a Lamborghini. One of these days I'm going to own a Lamborghini. I don't care what I gotta do to get it, I'm gonna own one. But in the immediate future, my ideal car that I would want, like right now, if I could have it, would be, like realistically, right, would be a Nissan GTR. I've told myself when I first started all this, that was like my goal car for a while, right, is Nissan GTR. And I don't know what it is about them, but I just think they're really cool. I remember playing a Need for Speed Most Wanted as a kid, and that was like the car you wanted, and it was on the cover, and I've seen it in the Fast and Furious movies. They're just amazing cars in my opinion. And Nissan GTR will probably be, when I get rid of my Honda and it's time to finally buy the next car, it'll probably be a Nissan GTR. And then from that one, I really want either a BMW i8 or an Audi A4, R4? Whatever that Audi is that Iron Man drives, I want one of those. And then, from there, probably a Lamborghini. But that's all, that's shooting for the stars, right? But hey, if I hit 1 million subscribers, there's gotta be a Lamborghini in there somewhere, am I right? So yeah, Nissan GTR, you guys get it, So, wow, this might be the best Q&A I've ever done. I feel like this was I enjoyed this Q&A a ton. And that's the thing too, right? Like we were talking about resistance. Like I sat down to do this and it wasn't really going the best at first. And I'm like, oh man, I don't feel good. I kind of have a headache. We didn't sleep well, Now that it's done, I'm super glad that I did it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things, once you do it, you feel 100 times better. Everything just has a way of working out, guys. Sometimes you just gotta go and trust in the process and just, know that everything's gonna be all right. So anyways, guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much. So very much for your questions and everything. And like I said, add me on Facebook if you want an opportunity to have your question answered on the next one. So as always, thank you guys. Hit that like button if you like these. I need to know what you guys like. That way I know to keep doing them. So thank you as always for your support. And don't forget to smile, remain positive, and pay someone a compliment because you never know whose day you could be making better. With that, I'm out of here. This has been a Remington James production. I will see you guys at the next video. See you guys.